All right. I think it's working. Maybe it's working.
Yes.
It has been a day of computer problems and internet problems.
That happens.
Alrighty. So, for those of you who don't know, we have currently Jason Winters with us today. Jason is a professional cosplayer. When I say professional, I'm not exaggerating. This dude is like next level. He builds all his own kits and does all the stuff and all the things. So we're going to kind of dive into a lot of the stuff that he does, much like what we did with TJ at the very beginning. So before we did our whole Star Wars saga, we had TJ join us, and we kind of showcased her. And today we're going to be kind of wrapping up our Star Wars sagas and moving on to other things. And anyway, for those who don't know, Jason is at the bottom of my screen, with and apparently dogs are also included. So that's going to be awesome sauce. Yes. Well, and it's very important that your dogs protect you from the viciousness of the doorbell. Yes. I understand how that works. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to kind of just show some screenshots as we're kind of going over here. These are photos of Jason and his kits. I kid you not when I say that Jason is one of the most premier Star Wars cosplayers, and he's a 3D printer guru. And he does other things other than Star Wars. So before we do the Star Wars, I do want to kind of highlight this beautiful nugget. That, my friends, is Jason in his custom-built Iron Man. Now, did you build this out of EVA foam or?
Everything is EVA foam except for the helmet.
It's so
nice.
Cool. Yeah. Did you paint it as well?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Painted. Did all the weathering. The electronics that are in it. Most of that was me.
Oh man.
Nicely done.
And then this is just some of the stuff. So I believe you're the one in the backpack with the backpack, right?
Yep.
Okay. So for all of our friends, this is Jason Winters in his first order. Like I said, remember last week I kind of went hard on the whole Star Wars Disney trilogy.
We all know the First Order saga is your favorite, Josh. Okay, we know that. Clearly. When we know it's your fave.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yes. Yes. But I will say, good old Monroe. I will say that I do appreciate the kits and the costuming that's in the First Order series. Even though the movies were less than stellar, I really do like the look of this. I mean, the modernization. It's so clean. Mm-hmm. So moving on. We're not going to talk about that today. This is another one of Jason's kits that he built. And when I say he builds these, he builds these. Like he either 3D prints them, he sands them, he paints them. He does everything. Here's some additional ones that he has done. And then, of course, that's just epic. Mm-hmm. And then his wife is an amazing gal. So this is his wife, Valerie. And this is, of course, Jason at Fan Expo. And this is them together rocking their Mandos. So Jason does everything. He does Rebels. He does Mandos. He does Imperial. He does Marvel. He does a bunch of stuff. This dude is truly a wizard, and he has got such a huge heart and hope. He's a fantastic person. So with that said, I have talked too much. Jason hasn't really talked that much at all, which is not good because he's our guest. So Travis, go ahead and kick it off, and let's have some fun.
I've been unleashed.
Oh God.
Well, I guess that takes care of the first question of, so what are some of your kits? Thanks. No.
You're welcome. Happy to help.
I guess I've got to ask with that, with your extensive and I know we've just seen, if your wall is any indication, we've seen just a fraction of your Star Wars capability. I gotta know, like, do you have a favorite out of all of them? Like, even just like comfortability wise, just for a long con, or least stuff for failure to go wrong. Like, what's your favorite out of all the Star Wars Rebel, Empire, whatever?
The original trilogy, Empire Strikes Back, AT-AT Driver is probably my favorite costume as far as the looks go. It's comfy, iconic. But my favorite to wear right now has got to be it's the ICAT Driver. It's the other green one that guy there.
Okay.
Super comfy. I can sit. That is a big thing.
Bonus.
But just the work that went into that one, as far as the paint work and the weathering, and it was one of the more in-depth ones that I did.
Okay. I just liked everything that I've seen so far with it. It's been, I like the different changes with the Mando too, and that's really
there's the helmet. Yeah.
Yeah. So, obviously Star Wars is a big portion. We've seen a little bit of dabbling with, or at least so far with Marvel. Are there any other big franchises that you do besides those guys, or any more that in the Marvel or DC or anything fringe, I guess?
I actually am more of a DC fan than I am Marvel. And I have, on the DC side, I did the Stephen Emile Green Arrow and Nightwing, Robin. Those two are kind of like my soul guy on the DC side. I haven't done a Robin yet, but I do plan to. As far as Fringe goes, my wife and I did Rinsler and Korra from Tron Legacy. We had the suits and everything light up, and did the Denver Comic-Con, when it was called that, costume contest, and it was really cool because they dropped the lights in the theater for it, and you just saw us bouncing around with our glowing suits.
Nice.
He also did this.
Park. Yeah, there's Hasbin Hotel and Hell of a Boss. Stolas is he was fun.
Yeah, I was actually, thanks, Robert. I was actually going to ask that. So, what iteration, when you plan on doing Robin? I mean, unless of course you plan on doing multiple. What's going to be the vision of your Robin? I guess. Which version?
The Batman Forever Robin. No, I'm kidding.
Oh no!
Hey, he could have said Batman and Robin one, and not the Batman Forever.
Oh God! The George Clooney. Oh. So funny story. George Clooney is still apologizing about that.
Still to this day, yep. Mm-hmm. Still apologizing for bat nipples.
Probably Tim Drake.
Tim Drake?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
And then the kind of little known thing. So there was a female Robin, Stephanie Brown, and she was also a Batgirl. My wife has a Stephanie Brown Batgirl that we made head to toe. So we can be Robin and Robin.
Robin and Robin. Nice. A little R and R, bad joke. Anyways, moving on. No. So, I guess kind of getting into it, just because, one thing I guess with cosplayers is just things can just go awry from here to here, keep you on your toes on a swivel. I mean, there's a reason why, folks have your handlers and stuff just to keep, things kind of going. But I guess when, depending on whatever kit cosplay you're doing, I've always kind of wanted to know this. Which of your five senses are you most willing to sacrifice just for accuracy, just fully? Like, it just, percentage of your vision, all your vision, just, oh man, when I put that helmet on, I can't hear crap. Like what's the give and take there? What are you willing to kind of?
I definitely lose vision. I wear glasses and I don't do contacts.
Mhm.
And then you put yourself inside of one of the stormtrooper helmets, and it's like looking through two fish bowls and already half blind. I just am glad that my wife walks in front of me so I know where to go. Hearing's not bad. Talking is muffled, but that's okay.
You basically expect, with that.
But yeah, sight is the big one.
I bet. Well, yeah. I can't see anything in these stormtrooper helmets.
That is true.
And I guess really, just with so many kits, with so many different, just having the versatility of what you have there. How much of like the original costume still actually remains at the end of like the convention, and how much is just maybe some emergency repair?
Oh, that is a good question. The very first time I wore Iron Man to a major convention, and that was Denver Comic-Con 2013. Coming out of that, it was in pieces. It looked like in Iron Man 3 when the suit kept coming to him and breaking apart like Legos. That was what it looked like.
Gotcha.
I got smarter and started really building things to be held together much better, while maintaining the accuracy of the looks. And now I come home maybe with a paint scratch, some achy feet. That's about it.
Nice. The learning process. No.
And on some of them though, like the Mandalorian costume that I do, Sabine, if the plates on that, they're designed to get knocked off. So that way, if I get stuck somewhere and something pops off, it just Velcros back on, or it's not going to rip anything.
Well, that works.
Yeah.
So just with, I have to ask before I forget about it, especially with how awesome your Iron Man was looking. Do you have any other of Stark creations there too? Do you have like the original, like I don't remember, pardon me, Iron Man fans, I apologize, I don't remember everyone, but the original suit, like for instance from Iron Man 1, like when he's trying to break for, like, do you have any of that, or are there any aspirations to get that added to your collection?
So I haven't done an Iron Man costume in a very long time. That is the one and only that I did make, and it has been something that has popped into my head a few times of what could I do in that realm, but not be Iron Man. And one of the first ones that popped up was Iron Patriot, mostly because no one liked the character. But I could see doing like a War Machine or Iron Patriot, something like that.
That'd be cool. Or what about, or even a little child nostalgia, maybe the actual Iron Giant, maybe on stilts. Yeah, maybe.
Ooh.
Just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. No.
Little secret, I'm currently printing a 1/18 scale Iron Giant.
Oh, right.
Now, okay.
All right.
When he says he's currently printing, you need to understand something about Mr. Winters here. This dude 3D printed a full-scale, as if it existed in real life, a droideka, and then painted it. And I was looking for the photos, and I couldn't find the photos to save my life. But yeah, he 3D printed a full-sized droideka, painted it, did all the jazz, and ended up having to set it up in his backyard.
That's awesome.
Jason, would you kindly tell Mr. Travis and our wonderful audience how many 3D printers do you have?
Hang on, I gotta count.
I love it. So much filament.
18, 19.
All right, so right? No. Anybody on the interwebs, if you need to know anything about 3D printing, hit up Mr. Jason Winters. This dude is like a savant with 3D printing. He's getting ready to 3D print him. He was telling me the other day, he's getting ready to 3D print himself a full-on C-3PO kit that he can wear.
Which version?
Oh, please don't. No, don't open that can of worms.
Which version? Well, are we talking naked C-3PO, or are we talking silver C-3PO? Are we talking tarnished, like the copper gold C-3PO, or red arm C-3PO? I mean, we got options, right? Regardless what Josh says, we have options, right, Jason?
I tossed around the idea of the red arm 3PO. But
No.
it probably is going to end up being Empire Strikes Back or one of the other protocol droids, like the white 3PO unit on Hoth K-3PO.
Okay. All right.
And as I was just speaking, the internet gods gave it to me. There it is, Travis. This doesn't do it justice. Like, even the photo is not.
But.
Like, yeah, he 3D printed this.
How? Okay, I gotta know. Like, obviously, you have the printers to do it, and so thus cuts down on overall time. But even with your armada of machines, how long did that take?
That was printed on 4 machines and took 6 weeks.
Jeez.
But running 24/7.
Oh, I bet.
In the middle of the night when they would finish a piece, I would wake up and start another one.
Wow.
How sick is that?
6 freaking weeks. Holy crap.
Well, it just brings it like, and so what are you doing, Mr. Travis?
Not waking up every so often to start a 3D print job on a life-size droidicar or destroy a droid, but damn, okay.
Well,
right.
With getting smarter, like I said, I was trying to find better and new ways. I've kind of automated it now, so I don't have to get up.
Nice. So, I kind of have things split up here a little bit, and a little bit more cosplay and a little bit more Star Wars. I just kind of with like, have you ever, like, with all of the Star Wars that you've had, like, especially with everyone, I'm pretty sure you've noticed his wall, and he's just told me that's a fraction. So, have you ever retired a costume, but maybe kept one specific piece, belt, glove, helmet, something that, just completely, just different as a build itself, or something like that? Something that you just couldn't get rid of, or, splice off to another thing or whatnot?
Yes. So I'll go into it. I mean, we through the Star Wars costume groups, the 501st, Currently, I have 24 active and approved, and 9 that I had that were retired. Excuse me, 7 that were retired. The one in particular was my Empire Strikes Back Snowtrooper. The duster, the jacket, I did not sell that. I sold the rest of the costume, but I kept that piece, and a lot of thought and sweat and research went into doing that duster, making sure that it was patterned the same way that the ones were in Empire Strikes Back. And I actually imported real wool, Sherpa wool from Nepal to make it.
Oh,
and that was $120 a yard. It has the right pilling and feel, unlike fleece. So I said, no, I'm going to keep that. If I ever do a Snowtrooper again, I got it. If not, I at least have that little trophy.
Yeah, no, most definitely. Well, then I guess it kind of goes into, how do you usually handle that, the internal struggle, so to speak, between choosing character based like on cool factor versus like how breathable the fabric is, or, especially in convention centers where maybe cooling isn't the biggest, thing on their minds.
When it comes to the original trilogy, if I can recreate it with what they used in the 70s and 80s, I will do it. That's a little bit of a purist in me, but at the same time, keeping a little bit more practicality to it. As an example, the original trilogy Stormtroopers from Empire Strikes Back and A New Hope, the backside of the shins is actually held together with bra clips. That doesn't work very well in a real setting that you're going to wear this thing more than 5 minutes to do a scene. So Velcro is more practical. But if I can take that little grain of practicality and mix it with the original tools and techniques and paints and other things, I will do that for my original trilogy. That being said, everything else I kind of go on a comfort, making sure that I can breathe and walk around. And
who's hating the duster?
Apparently you are, sir.
Me?
I don't know.
I thought I was loving the duster.
Snowtroopers in Florida.
Oh.
Yeah, that is true. Snowtroopers, Florida, just don't mix.
So with that then, like, since you are planning a C3PO one, please, like, ventilation or some type of cooling for you, because I've heard the horror stories from the original actor in that type thing, that's no.
There's no room in that.
Right.
And the way that it gets put onto you, you almost get bolted in.
I can't wait to see what you do with that. That'll be awesome to see. Something to hope for, people. So, let's see here. With so many different cons under your belt, so many different characters and such, and not only that, but seeing also your different pictures and things from that. Oh, gotcha. My bad. Thanks, Robert. But have you ever felt like maybe you're competing against kind of like a version of yourself that exists in those edited photos, well, just while you're wearing the costume in person? Is there ever that kind of like, oh, you gotta be that one guy, type thing versus, I assume the character versus like self type thing? Not sure if I'm asking that right. I'm not an interviewer. Josh Butch me with this. I'm just a nerd and I have questions.
So throughout middle school and high school, and then into my adult years, I spent a lot of time doing theater. Not a whole lot of on stage, although I did do a few things, but a lot of improv.
Sure.
And I do tend to assume the character that I am portraying, unless it's situation calls for it and I can be goofy. I absolutely love to dance or do goofy things in photos. But
Good.
when the time calls for it. Otherwise, yeah, I try to assume the character that I do.
And
So-
just real quick follow up on that one. Just have you ever maybe even just gotten into the flow mind state, I guess, of that character, and just maybe even stayed in it so long that maybe you've accidentally used their mannerisms or catchphrases and just completely just a serious like non-con setting or something like that?
Yes, my wife says that I am a real life version of Cassian Andor with no expression on a day-to-day basis. I can be happy and I look like this. I can be sad, no. I can be laughing. It's just the serious face that I have. I'm laughing on the inside, but
Gotcha. And real quick, I promised Josh he was going to be able to ask, but because he put this picture back up, I have to ask real quick. So with the wife also being up for some couple con cosplay here, I got to know, just from being a nerd of this franchise myself, are you guys maybe thinking of doing a Firefly couple thing kind of coming on? So with the new announcement of the Firefly animated series and the reunion of the cast. It's okay if you're not. I just had to ask.
I wouldn't put it beyond the realm of possibility.
Cool. Something to hope for.
If we find something that we like and we connect, I know that that's a very big thing with Val. She has to connect to the character.
Mm-hmm.
Then yeah, absolutely we could do, and probably will.
Awesome.
So
yes,
Jason had talked very briefly. I don't know if you caught it, about his involvement with the 501st and how many costumes he has, but it really doesn't do justice for what Jason has done with the 501st Legion. So with that said, Jason, how long have you been in the 501st Legion Star Wars Costuming Club?
Since October 2013.
I'm not doing math on Sunday. That's just that. I think that's sacrilegious. I think it's in the Bible somewhere. You shouldn't do math on Sunday. Yeah.
Just under 13.
And how many costumes did you say you currently have approved?
9.
Approved and active, 24 in the 501st, and then 3 in the Rebel Legion.
So would you kindly, for those in our audience that do not know anything about the 501st, what does it mean that you have a costume approved?
That means it meets the standards set forth by the costume club, whether it be the 501st, Rebel Legion, Mando Mercs, etc. That it conforms to the guidelines that they have put forth for membership and approval of that costume in order to be present at events that those groups are associated with. It's a level of accuracy to make sure that it's not, oh, I just went over to the costume shop and bought a, the $50 kind of padded stormtrooper thing with a half mask. It's making sure that you look like you walked right out of the screen.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate with something, with that.
Maybe just for argument's sake, Josh, regale us with a certain tale I think you have, just for maybe again people that aren't familiar with the 501st's strict standards. With the little thing with your Vader and I believe your panel, was it? I think it was your panel.
It was my cape.
Oh, the cape. Okay.
All right. So so when I first tried to join the 501st Legion, right? So oh man. So I originally got a what's called a Ruby's Darth Vader Supreme. And there was nothing supreme about it. Absolutely nothing. But I didn't care. It was just cool. And so I wore that to Denver Pop Culture Con. It was Denver Pop Culture Con at the time. Had an absolute blast. And I met a gentleman there named Jim Shima. And Jim pulled me aside somewhere in the middle of the con later. He goes, "Do you want to know how to upgrade that?" And I'm like, I didn't realize that was an option. But yes, I would. And so that started me down my journey and down my process. When I submitted this is how nitpicky the 501st is, and we can debate nitpickiness till the end of time, but this is how nitpicky they are. They came back and just said that my Vader was not approvable because my cape was 1 inch too high off the ground. Yes, that's the thing that actually happened, and I went, "Oh dear God,
heathen, Josh."
Well,
heathen.
Yes. I mean, I did feel that that I had destroyed natural movement in physics as we know it. So now that I have a new cape, I have no problem saying this publicly now. When I retook my submission photos, I did kind of because I wasn't going to, I can't rehem it, right? I can't extend it. So I cheated. I will gladly admit this. I cheated, and I instead of standing up straight, I slouched a little bit in my armor because you can't tell with the chest armor. So I kind of lowered my shoulders, and then I bent my knees, and I brought the cape down, and I retook my photos, and they're like, "It's approved." I'm like, "Great."
Yeah.
But I have a newer cape now. It's all wool, and it does fit the guidelines. I mean, I resubmitted it about a year ago, and it got reapproved again. So, we're good. It is, but I did do that. I will gladly admit that. So all my 501st friends, they're like, "Oh my God, come on, no, please, no, it's just relax, take a breath, okay, take a breath." Right, going back to oh great.
Shame.
So much shame. Going back to Jason though, because this show is about Jason. It's not about me.
Well, I just bringing you guys together with the 501st stuff.
I appreciate that.
Yes.
So Jason, if you wouldn't mind, we're kind of talking a little bit more about 501st stuff and all the goodness there. So you have two different worlds that you're currently doing. Like you are a highly skilled engineer, a highly skilled builder. I don't think that there's any doubt in anybody's mind at this point of what you can or cannot do. I mean, you clearly can build your kits. You know what you're doing. That droid is still just freaking epic, by the way. But with that said, if you kind of go with the 501st Legion, what is your? This gets tossed around a lot, but what is your why? Like why other than Star Wars is cool, and we all like participating and building kits and doing all that stuff. I mean, why are you still with the Legion after 13 years, 24 approved costumes, 3 with the Rebel Legion?
It's a little bit of a long story, but I'll go ahead and condense it. So I had a sister half sister, and she had passed away in 2011. Her son, my nephew, even though he was real little, he knew what happened, and I wanted to make him happy, and I didn't know what I was. Along comes Denver Comic Con, first year 2012. I go, well, I'm going to go here, and it looks like people dress up in costumes. I'm going to paint my face white and get a purple jacket, and Val's going to get some red and black stuff, and we're going to be Joker and Harley Quinn. Worked out awesome. I got hooked and immediately set forth to do something for my nephew to see if I could get him maybe cheered up, or if I could show up in something that would make me happy. I know that this is a year now since Katie passed, but he said his two favorite characters is Yoda and the Hulk, and I'm too little to be the Hulk and too big to be Yoda, so I settled on Iron Man. That was the first major real costume I did. From the Iron Man, I was introduced in 2013, I think it was in February, at a show here in Colorado Springs that we used to have called Galaxy Fest. I was introduced to the 501st there, immediately got hooked onto it, and by October that year, I got in with my first costume, which was a Shadow Scout. So it's like the Return of the Jedi biker scout, but all black. And from there, it just spiraled to not only helping out my nephew in his time of need, but helping out other children in their time of need. And it just grew and grew from that. Put on top of that, I developed what I call ADCD, attention deficit costume disorder, and decided that I wanted to build it all. And it just kept going and going and going, and all across the whole spectrum of Star Wars. I've built ones from the cartoons. Like my wife, her first costume was Bo-Katan, but the cartoon version, before she was even a character that people knew. I've done ones from comic books, all of the various movies, and it just kept going and going and going. COVID happened. I kind of dropped out of it a little bit, hit some depression. I won't talk too much about that, but I got better out of it, and I came back super strong in finding a new rhythm in the way that I do these costumes. It was no longer about doing them all. It was about the art behind them, and then doing what I can to teach others that same art.
That's awesome.
That's beautiful. I absolutely love it. Can you walk me through a process? Let's just talk about a standard original trilogy TK. Can you walk me through the process of one, getting your kit put together? Like, how do you get your plastic? How do you how do you get all the molds done? Do you 3D print it now? Can you just walk me through this process of what do you do when you're Daredevil?
Oh, that's what I was saying. I was like, Daredevil.
We'll have to talk about that. But anyway, can you walk me through the process of what it is? How do you build? And I'm sure it's different for every kit, but like, say, just an original trilogy TK. What do you do with that?
So for the original trilogy TKs, the fan base is great. That's not the word I'm looking for. The fan base has been graced with there are makers that vacuum form the plastic from molds. For vac forming, they're actually called bucks, but those bucks are taken from real movie suits. A lot of the makers out there, theirs are maybe 1 or 2 generations away from from being the movie suit. A generation would be every time that it's cast, you lose some detail or there's some cleanup and whatnot. So from there, you would pick one of the various makers. If you came to me and were asking which one should you get, I'm going to look at your size and tell you, this maker, theirs is a little bit smaller, this one's a little bit bigger, those kind of things. It'll come as a bunch of white plastic that has all of the extra plastic bits on it. And my process is I take a pencil, I draw out where I want to cut, and then I take a X-Acto knife with a number 16 blade, which is a scoring blade, and then I just go across that same pencil mark and snap the plastic back, get on a belt sander to just sand the edge, make it a little bit cleaner, and just do piece by piece. And once all of that's trimmed, you would glue it together. There are certain parts that are designed to fit together, and there's strips that cover up the seams. A little bit of Dremel work to make it fit right, and then sewing some straps with elastic and doing a little bit of painting that you need to do, and that is your original trilogy trooper. Some of the more modern ones are 3D printed, coated in Bondo. What I like to use is a mixture of the Bondo spot putty and acetone. It allows the spot putty to dry faster so you can get your work done quicker, and it does eat into the base plastic a little bit, creating a more of a galvanic bond. Then sand it with various levels of sandpaper, spray it with some filler primer sand, repeat the process 7 or 8 times, and then you've got something ready for painting. When it comes to a sewing project, that one is, I don't have a refined process. It's I just start grabbing things and making patterns and hoping for the best.
All right.
So overall,
Travis?
I would say I would want to ask after that, just on average. I mean, obviously life happens. Wrenches get thrown in the works all the time. But if you had to ballpark rough guess from concept to finished, hey, I look snazzy, how long of a process does the entire thing take? Or can?
So Josh, I'm going to send you a couple photos real quick.
Oh dear.
All right. These are, if you don't mind putting one of those up or something.
Working on it.
It's a type of a stormtrooper. I'll wait for it to come up, but it.
Sorry, I have to convert the files.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, that's happening. It really depends. So some of the more in-depth ones that I've done, like the Sabine, that one was, I think I started in July of last year, and it went all the way through January of this year, so 6 months.
Geez. Okay.
In some cases, a few days.
Okay.
So
kind of the whole gambit from multiple months to just maybe about a week or so.
And it really depends on the amount of stuff bought versus made.
There you go. So I got one up there for you so you can.
So that is a specific type of stormtrooper. It's called a legacy. or also Joker Squad. It's from the legacy comic books that Star Wars had pre-Disney. It's more feminine because the particular character is a female stormtrooper.
Mm-hmm.
This one here came as preformed plastic with all the flashing and everything, but what you see there, I completed actually this morning. That would have been about a 2-day worth of work for me. From it arriving, taking measurements from the person I'm building it for, and getting it trimmed up to that point. It didn't necessarily take me 2 days but 2 days total of work time on that.
Gotcha. Okay. Wow.
There's a little bit left to go on it, but
yeah. But still, geez.
Yeah, so you can see in the helmet here, it's slightly different than a normal original trilogy. It's smaller, more angular.
Yeah, Travis, do you not see the difference?
I
Dude, I am a huge Star Wars nerd, and I look at that and I go, that just looks like original trilogy TK. I mean, to me, it looks cool.
Yeah. All right. So, okay. I know we had, TJ and now Jason with it. I do have to ask kind of, I really wanted to not have any kind of repeats because that's not fun in the first place. But I do have to have kind of a redressing of one just a little bit because you are a jack of many trades here on this and being able to especially have your armada of printers behind you and being able to
armada of printers
18, man. Like I was just,
dude,
I thought one of my buddies that had like three, and my other one had 5. I was just like, slow it down, guys, slow it down. But
I don't even have one. Okay, I asked Debbie. I was like, Deb, I really would like to get a 3D printer. I want to kind of learn this. She goes, how many hobbies you plan on having? And I went, oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Just one more. Just one more.
Right.
Maybe 5.
Right.
No. But
it's not a hobby if you can figure out a way to turn it into a business.
That's true. And not only that, but 3D printing would be able to make it help with the movie stuff. I'm just saying, if you need it, you could 3D print it.
Well, this is true, but one of my lighting guy, who we're going to have on, by the way, folks, Robbie Blair, he's going to talk about photography and lighting and prop design as well. But he has a 3D printer, and so he helps me out with that.
Nice.
Yeah, I can't do it all. There's no way I would. Yeah, no, I would lose my mind. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry, we were talking about something, and then I.
No worries. I know exactly where we left off, Josh. I'll bring us back in, okay?
At least somebody does, because I don't have a clue what.
So, okay, Jason, you have your armada of printers behind you. You have your skill set that is obvious to anyone that's looking. But I do got to know, for those instances where you do have to maybe buy something from a store, hardware store, craft store, something like that, but it's maybe possibly like a intimidating or maybe an awkward item that you're like, no, it's really for a helmet or a wig or something like that. What was that for you? If you had one.
So, one of the weathering techniques that I use to make something look like it's wet or has snot, that is KY.
Oh, okay. All right.
Do tell. I think there's a story with this, Jason.
I'm just wondering if he has to keep a supply on him at all times during the con in this certain getup.
No. So, say for instance, Josh, you've mentioned to me in the past you wanted to do a Gomorian guard.
Yeah.
To keep the nose looking like it's full of snot, you would be applying KY in there. So
yeah, it's so funny story. I've always thought it'd be really cool to do a Gamorrean guard. One, because there's nobody that has one. And I think there's like just maybe a small handful in the entire Legion, honestly. And then I started researching, and I was like, oh my god, this is all like latex.
Yeah.
And I thought Vader was hot.
Right? Like you'll have to wear nothing but cooling packs and stuff. Like it would be horrendous.
Yeah, that would be a little obscenely insane.
All right.
Because none of that kit would breathe, none of it. So, Jason, if I'm correct, this is you, and obviously your lovely bride, Valerie. But this is you doing Andor.
Yeah.
Oh God, the nerds are going to come after me.
Oh, I can smell the torches already.
Oh, that Freudian slip.
Oh, your card's gonna get revoked, Josh. Oh, snap! Has had.
I think out of all your costumes, this has got to be the most comfortable one.
I was gonna say.
Probably. And that particular one, I'm planning to fully complete this year, since this year is the 10th anniversary of Rogue One, and the Andor character was introduced in Rogue One, and that, yeah. In fact, actually, the boots for it just showed up today, so gotta get.
It's already been 10 years.
It has.
Travis, we're old.
But the boots, they're a lace-up combat boot, and then I've got to sew leather to leather, some covers onto them, and I'll be 3D printing custom clips to make it look just like he had. But yeah, that's probably one of the more comfortable ones.
I just have to ask, because it looks like it's kind of a hop, skip, and a jump from here. Do you have a Poe?
No, I do not.
Oh, okay. All right.
No.
I have a friend who's doing one, so I'll let him do it.
Gotcha.
However, if I may, if I may,
get ready.
So,
yeah,
I think I know where you were going.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, there really isn't anything in the Star Wars universe that I can think of that Jason has not tackled.
Right.
He's got, and even outside of Star Wars costuming.
There's one I still haven't seen yet. If Jason was going to be one of the Jedi, I haven't seen his take on a Jedi yet. I'm just saying. Well, I can't be the only one in the audience that wants to see that.
Technically speaking, Sabine is the worst Jedi ever.
I think he's referring to like robes and a lightsaber.
Yeah.
I know.
I want a space wizard, Jason. I want a space wizard. Okay.
When I began this whole thing, I actually said to myself, no jetpacks and no lightsabers, and
okay.
I'm eating those words now because my wife and I are going to make some Jedis.
I was just going to say, you set your own standards, man, and you go from there. You know, I personally, no, and as even the person that posed the question, I would say, if you wanted to stay away from that and just especially focus on what you have been focusing, it's been working. It's been working, definitely. Although I will say, I'm not sure if the audience is with me on this one, but I can see an Obi-Wan Kenobi personally here. Depending on how he goes with it, guys, we could either do younger or old Ben. I'm just saying, I see it. Ooh, that's a good question, Robert. I like it. I'm going to ask it before Josh even has a chance. What about a Twi'lek?
We made a female Imperial officer Twi'lek for Val in 2014.
That's cool. That's super cool.
Of course you have. Like, why wouldn't you? Like, of course.
Yeah. It was a latex
Debbie and her
piece, and it was pretty fun. I don't know if I have any pictures of that anymore though.
All right, we are getting close to the top of the hour. So, as is per the norm, real quick, Jason, is there anything that you would like to talk about as far as the hobbies that you do, the costuming that you do, the designing? I mean, everything. It's a very broad brush. But is there anything specific that you would like to share with people across of the internets?
Let's just keep making things. If there's something that you want to learn how to do, go out and learn how to do it. And for the past, I'd say probably 6 or 8 months here, I've been wearing these bracelets here. One says lucky, and then the other two are make art, not hate. So if I wanted to have anything to say for that is find what your passion and art is. Mine happens to be costumes, 3D printing, plastic smithing, sewing, but find your art, make that. Don't be hateful, don't be angry, and just go for it. Do good.
Yeah. Yes. I love it. I absolutely love it. Very, very well said, sir. Very well said. Travis, I'm going to leave this to you. We got about 3 minutes left. You go ahead and finish it off, my friend.
You get him for that great answer, and then you want me to fit it? Okay, fine. I see how we are, Josh. I see how we are today. Okay. No worries.
I mean, yeah. Hey.
So,
don't be hateful.
I'm not being letting the hate flow through me. Yes. So, Jason, we only got a little bit of time, and I know since we've had previous episodes on this, we could spend at least an hour talking about each trilogy a piece. But I guess in your own personal just opinion and experience, regardless of what the gentleman up here may say or the internet.
Hey,
what trilogy is your favorite and why?
That's good. I like that.
The Andor season 1, 2, and Rogue One. No, I'm kidding. So I grew up watching the original trilogy. I wasn't old enough to see them in theaters the first time around, but I did see those special editions when they came out.
Same.
Absolutely, 100% love that. I was the right age and probably demographic for the prequel trilogy, but I do have a little bit of a soft spot for the sequel trilogy. Bad writing, sure, but from a visual and costume standpoint, I love it. But if I had to put a favorite to it, original trilogy all the way.
Gotcha. Right on.
On that note, friends, family of the interwebs, and those here, we bid you a wonderful adieu. We want to thank Jason for humoring us, taking an hour out of his very busy Sunday evening where he's got 18 3D printers running at 24/7. we just really appreciate you taking time to kind of share, not kind of brag a little bit on you about everything that you've done, but also share your knowledge and your passion with people. We really do appreciate it.
Yes,
So stay tuned next week, folks. Next week, we are not going to be talking nerd. We're going to be talking about something else. Can't share what that is right now, but we're not doing a sci-fi or nerd movie. We're going to kind of do something a little bit different. So we'll hope to see you all next week. And as always, have a fantastic week.
Thanks,
Cheerio.
guys. Have a good one.
Take care.